Hello dear heart, and welcome to this video where I will explain intermittent hypoxic training. In 1930s, there was a Russian scientist that were conducting research on hypoxia, which means low oxygen levels. And they discovered that in a campaign of high altitudes in the mountaintops, that by using a special mixture of gas that contained less oxygen, people would become stronger and more resilient. And they realized that this low oxygen environment actually that was man-made in this instant had really positive effects. So Russian athletes started training at high altitudes, and that they saw that their performance actually increased. So today, intermittent hypoxic training is used to treat a range of disorders, including high blood pressure, diabetes, Parkinson's, emotional disorders, and so much more. So in lowering the oxygen levels with simple breathing techniques, we can actually start invoking the natural functioning of the body to build resilience, because the body does deal with stress very well if it's switched off. And as it turns out, this first came from the yogis thousands of years ago, the rishis, that already knew about this. The most revered breathing techniques, what is known as pranayama, lowers the oxygen levels in the body for brief periods of time. And this lower oxygen levels for short periods of time is now defined as intermittent hypoxic training. So there has been loads of scientific research that now supports the benefits of these regularly creating low oxygen for hypoxic conditions in the body. And then we recommend taking a look at this fascinating intermittent hypoxic training. So yes, at first, the idea of lowering oxygen levels in the body sounds counterproductive, right? Like it seems extremely illogical and maybe even dangerous. But just trust it. For as long as we use the correct techniques for brief periods of time, this is really beneficial. And if we look at the Netflix film Heal, they interview very famous experts who give countless examples of people who healed from medical conditions labeled as incurable. And in many cases, doctors simply did not know what to do for them, and they took matters into their own hands. And there's a point in the movie, in this movie Heal, that we see that they all have something to do with the parasympathetic nervous system, with pure intention. However, they don't tell you how they do it, aside from advising you to meditate. So I will show you in this course how to do this through the power of your breath. And nature has such an incredible capacity to heal itself. All different types of cells in the human body are capable of repairing and replicating themselves. And actually, they are doing this on a constant basis, every single moment. We also know that the body is capable of producing vitamins, enzymes, minerals, and on varying quantities, neuropeptides, all of these things to keep itself in homeostasis and in a thriving environment. And this is thanks to the immune system. So this is how we awaken our inner homeostasis and coherence for your pharmacy that is already working in the right state. So all of the science that is covered is now catching up with the normal, natural way of doing things. So the yogis already knew this intuitively, and now science is experimenting in these realms, and they see that these hypotheses actually points towards truth. So here is how to heal yourself in a really easy way. I'm going to bring it back to the nervous system. The automatic nervous system is composed, again, of two parts, remember. The sympathetic and also the parasympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system is the start, and the parasympathetic nervous system is the slow down or stop. Both of these are important because both of these are active to some degree, okay? And this is how we maintain homeostasis in our bodies. The one doesn't shut off completely and the other one is active, but they do up and down regulate each other. So what we should be aiming for is that the one is not overactive and over-dominating. The sympathetic nervous system is in charge of the fight or flight. It creates adrenaline, energy, movement in the body, and this makes the heartbeat faster, getting more blood and more oxygen and nutrients into the muscles so that you can react accordingly and fast if there is a threat available. When you are in this state, the body is alert, awake, alive, and ready for action. So this is good and important, but however, if this state lasts longer than necessary, it starts creating chronic stress. And chronic stress in the body means that the body cannot heal and rest and digest. Every single time that we inhale, we're stimulating this parasympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system. And the parasympathetic nervous system is in charge of the rest and the digest. It gets you to relax, to sleep, to regenerate. It lowers the heart rate, it lowers the blood pressure, and it stimulates healing. Now, every time that you exhale, you're stimulating the parasympathetic nervous system. And we have been conditioned to believe that the only way to influence the automatic nervous system, meaning the heartbeat, inflammation, blood pressure, is with drugs or machines. But in actual fact, like I mentioned in the biohacking video, you can do this through your breath. So by consciously controlling your autonomic nervous system, including your immune system, your heartbeat, your metabolism, you start to heal and bring it back into homeostasis. And the ancient yogis somehow knew this. So this course will really start to help you to come back into aligned healing for yourself, into optimal harmony and coherence.